Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how to put a splint on now. For the purposes of not having to repeat this, I left the first portion of our modified Robert Jones in place, and we're going to use a pre-made spoon splint. Now these come in all different sizes. You want to pick a splint that fits your patient's leg size and paw size. I'm not a huge fan of these, but I do use them occasionally. They come with some foam padding on the inside, and they can be cut to length using bolt cutters or a saw based on the size of your patient. This can be peeled back so that wherever you fold it over, you can then fold the foam piece over the tip once you've cut it. So I'm going to use this spoon splint. We're going to assume that it fits this patient the best. And so you can see that for the purposes of this, we would want to cut the splint about right here. And we might continue this up a little bit higher, but you don't want your splint to extend beyond your cast padding. So let's pretend that we had cut the splint here and we folded the foam over. Then what I'll do is I'll take a couple pieces of white tape, and I typically just then tape the splint over top of my modified Robert Jones first part, like this, so that it stays in place, just like that. Okay, so you have your splint there, and then what you would do is cover your splint with a layer of vet wrap. So just following the same guidelines, we don't want to have any wrinkles, and we're going to have a 50% overlap. For the purposes of saving supplies, I'm not going to go all the way back down again, but for this particular splint, I would go all the way back down. You can then apply a small piece of elasticon at the bottom, like we did with our modified Robert Jones, and you can put a little bit of tape around the top as well. So this is how you would use a pre-manufactured splint. What I'd like to show you also, and I'm just going to unroll this. What I prefer to do is to make a customized splint for my patient. And so, can you hand me the casting material? So here is an example for a back leg, but what you would do is cast the leg, and then you would bivalve this, and it's conformed to the patient's leg, and then it would fit. And imagine this was a front leg, you would just slide this right over, okay, not over this, but over the cast padding. And I'll show you that later.